It's been a while, right? Like we've been on a hiatus. I almost forget how to press my own buttons. It's only been few weeks.
Only been what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
Is it
four
three, four
weeks.
weeks? Well, I
It's
think
been
our
four
last
weeks.
release was 3 weeks. It's been a while since you and I spoke, but then we had Die Hard 2 released on Christmas Day, and then this is about to come out on MLK Day, January 15th. So it's only been 2 weeks time of our video release because we're trying to catch up ahead. But I think it was toward the end of 2023 when things got a little hectic. Is either you were going on somewhere and I went out of country for a couple of weeks. So we're finally back on. So I'd like to apologize to like I guess the three of the fans that we have online.
I I would like to apologize too that we only have 3 fans. I mean, we try.
We try
I
to
mean,
have
but
one
you can't just
every
make
week.
people watch.
No,
I
you
don't.
cannot.
I mean, it's not. What I hate the nice thing is, it's not like it's a train wreck where everybody wants to see it. But
Yeah, so we're trying to get back on it, and I'm so glad that we're doing this movie because we've been doing this show for a while now, and we never done my most favorite movie of all time.
yeah, this is your favorite movie.
And the
Your
first rule
favorite
is
movie.
we do not talk about
Talk
this
about
movie.
Lamb's favorite movie. We
I
actually
don't
do talk about your favorite movie.
I don't know why it hold out for so long. I
I
even
don't know
got a
why.
shit that Tyler Durden wore during the show. I mean during the
Yeah.
movie, and I got
So
these red
so
glasses
dress
too.
the dress like Tyler Dorgan or whatever.
Durden.
Durgan, sorry. Excuse me.
Yes,
You
excuse you.
you have to go down to the thrift shop, huh?
Oh no, I got everything on Amazon because this is where you shop nowadays.
But
Like
that's
everything on
where but
Amazon.
that's what it looked like he shopped at a
Oh
thrift
yes,
store.
whole movie. Like the theme of Tyler Durden is very dirt poor. It feels like, and the narrator is very well. I guess always a business dress attire because he
Yeah,
works
business
for
cat.
he works.
Yeah.
What is his job?
Never really
Oh,
it never really tells you.
recall coordinator. That's what he
Yeah,
is.
that's his job. Yeah, it never tells you what car company he works for.
No, a major one.
He just keeps saying the major one. Yeah,
Yeah.
when people die and burn up.
How did you like that when he explained like the differential and the ratio? I mean, like if the cost is above the cost of the recall, they don't do one. I thought that was brilliant, and I'm thinking that's probably how a lot of companies work their business anyway, because it's all about costs.
Yeah, yeah. Depends on how much it's going to cost them in the long run. Yeah, I mean, come on, you got to save money here or there. It's business.
Oh, that's just business. Yep, it's all over the world. What did you think of this movie? How many times have you seen it?
I don't know, probably 3 times in
Three
my life.
times. Oh, okay. I know I saw this when it first came out
Oh,
in
okay.
theaters.
No, sure didn't see this when the first time it come out.
Oh, I loved it even since the first time because I love the theme, and yeah, I love the theme and the references that's trying to, I guess, in a way, teach or trying to bring to light to your face, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Even the
What's he
author
trying to
thought
tell
the
me?
movie is better. The author was a Chuck. I can forget his last name now. Get
Pulaski?
yeah, like I don't know, Pen Chuck or something.
Yeah.
He thought the
Yeah,
movie was
Pin,
better than his
Chuck.
own book.
Oh,
Did you?
really? Well,
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta get these glasses. I'm wearing these red sunglasses that Tyler Durden wore, but it's making everything red, right? It feels like I'm either colorblind
Did you
red
know
or
you mentioned that?
that's
I
I can
have the
see.
book.
Oh,
Hey,
I have
hey,
the book
hey.
too.
Apparently, you're not Tyler Durgan. Because
No, I
if you were
can't.
Tyler Duggan, you would have just took the sunglasses off really cool and not said anything about it.
Oh no,
But
I
no,
understand. Nope,
not you.
nope.
You just lost that cool factor.
No one,
You're the other character in this movie.
no one is as cool as Tyler Durden. Okay,
Trying to
and
play it safe.
yeah, I'm
Well,
trying to
it's
play it
because he's
safe,
an
but like
imaginary character anyways.
his imaginary friend.
But anyway, I got the book.
Whoa,
I got the
wow.
book.
Hold on, show me that to me
Yeah, I got
again.
the copy of the book.
Whoa, where did you get that one?
Oh, I bought it. But the nice thing is, I don't know if you can see it here.
Is that a
Wait, look at that. Is it
signature?
signed by the author? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's the author's signature.
Whoa, I'm hyper jealous.
So yeah, I got the signed
I'm
edition.
very
You
jealous.
should be jealous. That's the whole reason I. That is the reason I bought the book out, is to make you jealous. Now I feel accomplished,
Oh, very accomplished, man.
kind of accomplished. I mean, I feel. I don't
The
feel as good as I did when I pulled out the Ghostbuster suit, but
Oh, the Ghostbusters suit is the top of the. That's the cherry on top. The
Yeah,
only
that's the
cool
cherry.
things I have is just the
This was the
special
chocolate
edition
ice.
DVDs. Well, this
Oh,
one,
okay,
and then I
that's a
had to
pretty
get
sharp
the
one.
tin case.
I have the DVD too. I'd have to go find it. Mine does not look fancy. It's just the regular run of the mill. I
Wait,
think it shows
so you do have the
both characters.
DVD?
Yeah, I got the DVD. You told me to get the DVD so I could
Oh,
watch this a long time ago. I only watched this because you told me to watch this movie.
so I don't know if you noticed or remember when you pop in the DVD, right? The menu that loads up is never being kissed. Do you remember that? When you load
No, I
the
don't.
DVD for Fight Club, it plays a trick on you. Like Never Being Kissed plays like the menu of the DVD and everything, and then it does the burn, and then it shows you the warning, which is also altered by Tyler Durden.
Okay, I
Like the
haven't seen
DVD
this, but I
warning.
do know during the real movie, during the movie that see, I think I watched your copy. I don't know, I watched it, but anyway, just put it this way: I watch it. You do see the little clips where you see Tyler Durden throughout the movie pops up, pops up.
Yes, yes, in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah. Well, he pops up throughout the movie.
He does.
You see, it's kind of like edited together.
But then when he's more frequently in the movie, the pop up doesn't,
Yeah,
yeah,
disappears.
obviously because it's the narrator or Jack seeing him his own vision that
Yeah,
is slowly coming to life.
yeah. I'd say it's an interesting movie. It's not my favorite movie. It's
No,
not gonna even make it. It's not even on my top five. But
no, this is
if I
definitely
mean, we
top
both.
five.
Yeah, if it was on my top five, and then what would we talk about if we had matching movies?
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and I mean, I didn't see this, and I mean, it's a good movie. It's pretty good. I liked it. It was interesting.
Oh, good.
I mean, it's one of those movies though you could watch several times because you're not going to get everything
No,
the
yeah,
first
you're
run
not.
because not everything's going to make sense to you. Because a lot of and the thing is, the funny thing is, some of the things should have made sense to you, but they don't.
Oh, interesting. How do
Yeah.
you mean?
Well, the thing is, we get to the end of the movie, we find out this guy Tyler Durden's a figment, or the Tyler Durden that we see as Brad Pitt is a figment of his imagination that he
Mm-hmm.
created. He's actually Tyler Durden.
Durgan, the whole
Tyler
entire
Durden.
way.
He's been to Tyler Durden the whole time, but he probably got confused when he was going around to all these little places where I got a problem like AA, testicular cancer, and all this stuff
Oh, the
because
support groups.
he's always naming himself something else.
Yes,
But the
Cornelius,
neat thing,
Rupert.
the one thing that I really liked about this movie is in the center of the movie after he starts Fight Club, he meets Bob. Remember we see Bob at the
Yeah.
first of the movie. Bob's probably the only really friend he had in a way.
Oh, yes, yes. They kind of show that in the movie
Yeah,
because like he feels
because Bob
emotion toward
because
this guy.
he thinks Bob's helping him out, but
Yeah.
Bob's really never helping him out. The guy can't sleep because he's been like setting fires and stuff. He's been Tyler Durden destroying his life for a long time. He just doesn't know it because he's like, I don't know why I'm tired. You're tired because you snap out of it and you're doing other things, and then
Oh,
you snap and then you go back. But that would be hard to see. I get that. But in the middle of the movie, after he starts Fight Club, he meets Bob.
yeah.
Bob grabs him and says, "Hey, I gotta tell you something." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "I've joined this club." He's trying to tell, and he goes, and it started by this guy named Tyler Durden, and he gets jealous because he's like, "Well, Tyler Durden
Yes.
is going around doing all this crap."
Yeah.
But the problem is, actually, Bob, the only reason, and he's jealous of Tyler Durden now. But the problem is, he shouldn't be jealous of Tyler Durden. The only reason Bob says Tyler Durden started this club because he doesn't know the guy in front of him is Tyler Durden because he's
Yeah.
always used a different name.
No, not only a different name, right? Like you're right about that because he used the name Cornelius, but
Yeah.
also that was the first time he said like I go Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Ed Norton's character is like I go Saturdays. That was when like you pointed out like hey Tyler Durden's the one who's setting this up without I guess the main body person narrator Jack
Yeah.
knowing, and this is one of the few movies. You and I saw another one called Layer Cake that you never know the main character's name
Yeah.
throughout the
Layer
whole
Cake's pretty
movie.
good.
Like this is one of the reasons why I love this movie. Like you go into the whole movie, you don't even know the main character's name, but like the side character that gets killed, you know his name. His name is the most famous name in this whole movie, and he's not
Yeah.
even the main character. He's just
Yeah, well,
part of
yeah,
it.
and the thing is, he's jealous of himself too. The whole movie.
Yes, jealous of himself because he doesn't know. And I like that scene because that was one of the clues where like, well, Tyler and Jack are the same person. It wasn't until Jack met Bob the Tuesday or Thursday Flight Club, right? That's when he thanked him afterwards. Like, thank you so much for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you realize, like, it wasn't until you, after the fact, that you find out that they're the same person. I'm like, oh. And then I loved it in the movie theater when Brad Pitt told, like, you talked to her about me. And then he realized you and I are the same person, right? That made the part where they stay at the house on Paper Street super creepy. He was in that home by himself for who knows how long.
Yeah, but the thing is, he rented that house.
Yes.
Because he thinks that, oh, he goes, why would I got this house? I guess we're just he goes, we're just like, what do you call it?
Sit-ins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Squatters.
They go, yeah, we're just squatters. They were squatters, but it turns out he's been renting the house. He's been renting the house himself.
Yeah, right. But then
So he's been paying for that dump, and he doesn't even know it. He's been paying for that dump, and he didn't even know he's paying for that dump. He's thinking, "Oh, I'm squatting in this thing."
I think one of the funniest scenes in that house is when Brad Pitt's character, like, just trying to shut off the power, sitting in the flood in the basement.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't even notice. I was watching a video. Things interesting, right? Remember the part where they're just hitting golf balls next to the house?
Yeah.
What happens was they were just taking a break. So Brad Pitt and Ed Norton has been drinking, right? So they were just taking a break from shooting. So they were both a little tipsy. That's why they were hitting the golf balls by the house, because they were just taking a break. But then David Fincher decided to shoot that scene anyway because it worked out for the movie because they were just effing around. I didn't even know that until just recently.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah.
cool.
And the other thing was I think the first time Brad Pitt asked Edward Norton to hit him, right? David Fincher, like, Brad Pitt knew that Edward Norton was gonna hit him for real. He just didn't know where. So Brad Pitt was prepared, right? It was David Fincher who told him to hit him in the ear. That's why Brad Pitt's like, you hit me. Why in the ear? Because he wasn't expecting that. Like, I'm gonna get hit, but I don't know where I'm gonna get hit. I thought that worked out really well too.
Yeah.
The other point I love this movie is, like, I feel like it bring people to a realization that a lot of things that are controlled, right, by the people who work for you. I think one of the scenes that just showed that it was the police force trying to hunt down these so-called underground fight clubs, and when Brad Pitt brought to a point, like, hey, we drive your cars, we wash your clothes, we cook your food, we're your everyday people. And I love that theme of that. Like, it's the smaller, I want to say, a smaller person but a larger population that controls the world. Does that make sense? Like, it's the worker. Because they had that theme in the movie too. The worker bee can leave anytime. The queen is their slave.
Yeah, that sounds communist, the way you put it.
It does, yeah.
It's very communist.
But it's not. The communist is the smaller faction controlling the whole people.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
This is backwards.
But that's the way they sold it to the people.
Yeah.
The way communism sold to people. It's like all us little workers gotta stand together and do stuff.
Oh, yeah, yep. Oh, okay.
All the workers, and then all the little workers get controlled by one person or a small little group, and then the little workers don't get anything either.
Maybe that's why I like this movie so much. Then it's reverse communism.
Yeah. The sad thing, it's not though. It's like joining the union. Unions are all the little people. You don't want to do this stuff, but the problem is the union is only controlled by a few big people, and they tell you what to do. And then when they tell you what to do, it's like, oh, y'all gonna have to strike and not work for a while so we can get more. I'm like, we or you get more.
Yep. I do love this theme. I do like the bombing of the buildings, so that way everybody starts at zero credit. I really enjoy that.
I mean, I get that. It's funny. It's interesting for a movie. It wouldn't work in real life.
No, it won't.
Come on.
See,
we're on a computer.
Something that I want to start in 2024. Like, you just answered what I wanted to bring for this year. Would this work in real life? Obviously, not this part with the credit card. I agree with that too.
Yeah,
that's going to be a backup somewhere. Maybe at that time when this movie was released, but not today's day.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the 80s or the 90s, but before,
because this movie's pretty old, because they were using cell phones and stuff. Not cell phones. They're using regular payphones.
Payphones, and they have
using payphone.
Oh, and the other thing that dated this movie was the Blockbuster videos. I love that magnet.
Oh yeah, Blockbuster.
The first time I saw that, like, what are they doing with for the homework? They plug the magnet in so they can erase all the tapes. That's freaking brilliant. I love all the homework they did. They turned the spikes around. They only hit on German cars when they're setting the alarms. I thought that was really funny. And the pigeons, it was pooping on the
Yeah, oh yeah,
BMWs.
where they fed all the pigeons and made a mess.
And it's destroying the corporate art to like well,
Yeah.
they didn't say Starbucks, but just like a famous local coffee franchise. Uh, I do like I like the IKEA scene when he talk about like something clever is made by man, right? He has to have it, and then they scan his whole room
Yeah,
of
oh yeah, it
IKEA
looks like a catalog.
furniture.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
like
like
a
an
catalog.
IKEA
I
catalog.
thought that was really cool too. And even throughout my whole life till today, I still trying to use like, well, can I have that in cornflower blue? Oh, I love that. I like this movie shaped. I don't want to say shaped me a lot in a way, but like I still reference it a lot to this day. You
Yeah,
know.
you know it inside and out.
Oh, I do know it inside out. I love this movie. I try to watch this once a year.
Wow.
Yeah, once a year. Or every time I get a new TV, I have to watch Fight Club on that particular setting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
don't know if you have a problem or if it's a good thing.
Well, it's just like this. What do you do with a favorite movie? You
All
watch
right,
it
never
every so
mind.
yeah.
Yes, all right. I watch Star Trek 2 on every TV I get in every format there's available. Especially if I get a better sound system, I
Come
gotta
on,
watch it. Yeah.
these are
First thing,
DVDs. I have two copies of the same. Well, can you say it's the same DVD? It's they still publish these differently, right?
wait. It depends. Is the disc is the viewing the same? If you pop one DVD in and watch it, and you pop the other DVD in and watch it, and it does it show exactly the same, or is one got something added to it?
Oh, you know what? I think the menus are different.
Okay, well then they're not the same DVD.
I mean, the artwork on the DVD is different. One has
Yeah,
the
but is the viewing well that one's got two.
yeah, this one
But
got two too.
is the movie got any extras in it or extra stuff on the DVD?
Oh, you know what? I don't remember.
Well, if you got extras on the DVD, you're automatically going to be a different DVD then.
Yeah, it's probably have like,
Because
either
there's a lot of
extras or
stuff.
less.
Because there's a lot of stuff you're not going to get. When we go watch it online, we don't get all that crap.
Yeah, you're right. Because I
You
watched
stream
this
that crap,
online.
you don't see all that.
Let's say supplemental 17.
Matter of fact, usually when you watch stuff streaming, the movie's not as good anymore.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they cut a lot of stuff out, like Dune. I watched Dune recently again.
Okay.
We watched it when it was on the HBO and they
Yeah,
come
that's
out
right,
just
yeah.
for free. Well, I watched it recently and I think it was on Amazon or so.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Amazon. I think it's no, it wasn't Amazon. It was just the video came out,
Okay.
streaming video, whatever. Didn't have I could tell it was cut. There was a lot of stuff. It just felt like it was missing. I could be
Really?
wrong, but it just didn't feel like everything was there.
Huh. Interesting.
I could be wrong. I may just because I didn't pay that much attention.
So, like, it could be like different, like the Amazon Prime release versus the HBO Max release.
Well, I wonder. And
It's kind of like the Blade Runner, right? Like all these different cuts. Like, which cut
oh
am I
yeah, you
watching
got
on the
100
streaming?
different cuts. Well, it's like Star Trek too.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff they took out. You saw there was the NBC version. They put some stuff in, and then most of the regular version, you'll never see certain scenes.
Oh. So it feels like George Lucas is not the only person who's doing this, huh?
Yeah, because you got to think that's 1982.
Yeah, that's 1982, and then like you
Oh
just
yeah,
said,
there's been a lot of people, and you can't say it wasn't George Lucas. George Lucas probably did it in other movies too.
you know what? Probably a lot of stuff been done to other movies that we just don't notice, but Star
Yeah,
Wars
we don't
the one
know.
That, yeah.
Well, you gotta remember, they always made an edit for the movie theaters, and then if it got shown on TV, they'd actually make another edit. Most of them were cut down, or
to
cuss
fit
words were cut out.
commercials,
Yeah,
yeah.
cuss words so all the audience could see it. So there's always actually another cut of a lot of movies,
Ah.
especially if you had a rated R movie that made it to primetime TV.
Oh yeah.
Then you automatically got another cut. Just the thing is, a lot of stuff was cut out.
They either cut out or they cut away from it, like the violent
Yeah.
stuff. They still want to show the scene, but they don't want to show the gory stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing, but that's another cut.
I don't know if Fight Club is like that though. I mean, I haven't
If
seen
it was
another.
ever shown, if it ever
I
got
had
shown on
never seen those
ABC or
on TV.
NBC, yeah, I doubt it was ever shown on TV. But if
This
it
movie
does, it's
would
gonna get
never be shown
edited.
on TV.
Why? Oh, you probably could show this on TV nowadays. Problem is, a lot of people don't watch TV, so nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah,
But you got to think with all the commercials and stuff, they're gonna have to cut a lot out,
yeah, it is.
and they can easily blank out a lot of the words. So
Well, a lot of the words and like the sex scene, which is CGI anyway.
yeah, well, a lot of that was it. You could get away without showing a lot of those too,
Yeah, you can.
because you got the point.
Yeah, you got the point.
I mean, the
About
whole
scene.
point was she's wondering why he doesn't know her.
Oh, that's the
You
good
remember?
scene,
That's
right?
that's the best stuff. That should have been the biggest thing, because she talks to him like she's with him, and he's like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah,
And
what are
she's
you
like,
doing?
and
What are
then
you still
she's,
doing here?
and then of course he's looking at her like,
He's a psycho,
whoa.
right?
Yeah, she knows she's a psycho, because it's like, because she's acting like she's been talking to him the whole time,
Yes.
and then the way she acts reflects. She acts. I mean, her acting skills is enough to reflect that she's been talking to him, and he doesn't know he's been talking to her. That's the thing.
Oh.
But for some reason, you don't want to pick up on it.
Right.
I mean, it's obvious.
It is very
It's just
obvious, like
it's very obvious those scenes, but you don't want to pick up.
especially the chemistry between those three, right? I don't know if you noticed, like, you know, they were having sex a lot, but as soon as Jack picks up the phone from the cop, it stops. Have you noticed that? Like,
Oh, I didn't notice that.
oh, I pay attention to that. Like when he picked up the phone, the sex noises stop.
Well, the thing is also, what it should have known. How the cops know to call him at that address?
Oh, I'm
Remember?
so
Because he
glad
walks
you
over there
brought
and he
that
picks up the phone,
Yep.
and then also same thing. She calls him at that house. How does
Yes.
she have that number? But he gave her his
He
number.
gave her a number. Yep.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, and he picks up the number. See,
Well,
that's the most obvious thing. Is how does he? How does
A lot of times, right? Like you don't consider that because you know they don't want to show you these little scenes in movies. You just assume like, oh, you know, they left a forwarding number.
Well, he shouldn't have had a forwarding number though.
That's the thing, you know. I know.
Because if they're squatting in a house, you're not going to have a number.
Yep. I did like the explanation of the foot of concrete between his condo and the other next door. Like that's to me right there. That explains like he makes a well living, right? Like Edward Norton's character, as we call coordinator, makes a very good living doing what he does.
Yeah, but he was a slave to his job. Yeah.
Yes, I loved that. So I wrote something here.
Lots of people become slaves to their jobs. So.
I don't know. I don't know if you read the book or maybe the author tells you what the inspiration of his book was. But that what I wrote here is that he was in a camping trip, and then one night when he went to sleep, right, there's some people close to where he was camping at. They were playing loud music. They were just having a good time. So he figured that he go over there and just tell him to turn it down and stuff. He got beat up at the camp, right? And then the next day when he went back to work, he went to work with all the bruises and everything, and no one asked him what the heck is going on, which he actually put in the movie. People always assume the worst, right, about the cancer stuff. You don't say anything, people don't ask about it, and that's how he got the inspiration of writing this film or writing this book. And
a lot of people.
Yeah, it is like if you.
But you can't say that. Job, yeah, you can't say that too. But well, I mean, in a way though, a lot of people don't ask, but there are a lot of people who do ask.
Oh yeah, I would be one.
And it gets annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. See, is it again annoying? It really depends on the person that's receiving that question.
Yeah, me, I find annoying. I'm like, mind your own business.
So let me tell you something. So I went to Hong Kong recently, right? I was going to tell you this offline, but I'll use this example. Someone tried to pick a fight with me while I was in Hong Kong. So
really?
Heather wanted to go to the Victoria's Peak, right? Like the peak of the mountain in Hong Kong. You can see everything. It's the highest mountain part of Hong Kong. I didn't want to go because I don't like hikes and everything, right? So it was 8 of us, and then we went. You had to take a tram to get up there if you don't drive. So we got to the tram part, okay? And then the tram can only fit so many people. That makes sense. But then how they operate it, they only let a certain amount of people wait for the tram at one time. So since there's so many of us, my mom walks slow because she has knee surgery. I got in front, almost to the front of one of the cars, right? Like there's 2 of them, and my mom was trying to catch up to me. This guy from mainland China, okay? My mom was trying to make her way to me.
So you mean this Chinese guy?
Yeah. So he yelled out obnoxiously, cutting a line, right?
In
So like
English?
no, he no,
Oh,
he's
okay.
speaking like some call like a heavy accent Mandarin. Okay, so I
Okay.
just say it out like, "Hey, she's with me." Then he started yelling at me, right? Like obnoxiously. Okay,
Yeah.
he yells like people. I guess people who are with him. I don't know if his brothers or his friends. His wife and daughters there too, but I didn't know that until later. He just kept yelling, and I didn't want to respond to that guy because I have my all four of my boys with me, Heather's with me,
Yeah.
my parents with me, right? I could tell you right now, Shane, if none of those people were with me, just Heather, I would have dropped this mofo for yelling into my face. Him and two of his friends at the same time. I didn't care. But then because I had just set up a good example, right? I just let it go. I didn't
Yeah.
say anything back. I just looked at him. He just kept yelling at me, right? It got so obnoxious. Other people were feeling unpleasant. Even my boys, Ethan and Ryan, were like, they were feeling kind of embarrassed for this guy. Okay, my dad was upset because like, hey man, you're really embarrassing Chinese people. That's what he told us when we were on the train. Like, because some people were like they were sitting behind me. They were talking like, why is this guy yelling so much? It's not like he's not gonna get to sit down or anything, you know? Because he was yelling at my mom about cutting in line. And then
Yeah.
that's when my mom talked to those people behind me. Like, yeah, you're like, what an embarrassment to Chinese people. So before he got to the train, right, the workers came and they were asking what's happening. I'm like, hey man, I'm not doing anything. He's just yelling obnoxiously, okay? And they were like, oh, it's okay, sir. Thank you for not reacting. You know, we just have to
Oh,
probably have
okay.
to,
Thank you for
we
not
probably,
dropping this mofo.
yeah. So we probably just have to wait for him to calm down. Because by that time, right, his daughter was crying. His daughter is probably maybe 12 or 13 because I could tell that she was bigger and older than Ethan.
Yeah.
She was crying real loud, and that's when he started apologizing to the workers, you know? He didn't say anything to me because I'm just looking at this guy. Yeah, I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? And that's when I realized your wife and kid is here, and you're yelling at me obnoxiously just because an old lady got in front of you trying to be with her family, like her party. Yeah, that was very
Wow.
unpleasant. I would have dropped him. That was the most adulting thing I did that day.
Yeah. You know what I got to say is he's lucky he didn't fall off the top of the mountain.
Shoot.
Oops.
Yeah. And then
Some
we have
big
a
trip.
pretty good rest of the day at the peak. I mean, Heather
Okay.
wanted to take the boys up there, you know, and we saw monkeys and everything. Well, not at that particular,
Wow.
not that same place,
Okay.
but
Well, you saw a monkey before you got on the train too,
oh yeah.
but
No, no, we did see monkeys though. There's a part where that's what's it called? Golden Mountain where the monkeys are. Now this place not a zoo.
hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
It's an interesting question. Why does maybe Asian, I don't know if I want to say Chinese people or Asian people, why do they call everything golden? Golden this, golden that, golden
I
this,
don't
that, golden.
know.
Okay, cool.
I think it's because like they think it's the richest, like when like
Okay. That would make sense. That would
J
actually make
Emperor, Golden Dragon. Like there's a lot of dragon in the names of everything.
Oh, okay. There's
I'm
dragon
like,
too. All right. I like that.
I think it's just because they
But
make
I do
something more
notice
important.
everything's they do golden on everything.
Yeah,
Golden eagle, old golden star, golden lucky golden star,
they want to
golden
sound the best.
little dragon
Because if
golden
you
thing.
own gold, right, or you gotta have money. Because let me tell you, so before the show, I told you that me and Heather lost 5 pounds because all the walking we ate more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's so funny because we were walking so much. That's when I find out, like just like this movie, a lot of my anxiety came from when I was growing up. So Heather asked me, like, well, having to take the train, bus, and whatever, right? People try to be cheap. So you either take the bus or you take the train, okay? So Heather asked me, like, how do people get to anywhere on time? Like, you leave early. If you had to be there something by
Yeah.
7:30, right?
Well, yeah,
You
that's
leave at
supposed to
6.
that should be that way everywhere though.
Yeah, that's everywhere because like even today we were left for my son's basketball game, right? I always wanted to leave early because you're either on time or you're not, and that's where
Yeah.
my anxiety comes from because from growing up in my country. It wasn't until like the 4th or 5th day, right? Then I asked her like, "Do you realize why I walk so fast now? Because I train here."
Yeah, well, now that you say that, now that could tie into this movie because there's a way Tyler Durgan, the good, nice employee, always on time. But
Yes,
after
yes,
that, all the Fight Club, he don't care.
no,
Why are you on time for? But
yes.
I mean, who? But nobody
Oh,
wants to put up with somebody's not on time. So that really doesn't make any sense. Because me, if you're not on time, I don't got anything for you.
right, yeah, yeah. I feel the same way too. Like, oh,
I don't
it
want to mess with you.
like every time. even with kids, right? I know, like, okay, and now I have to leave extra even earlier than I would if I by myself.
Yeah.
It bothers me if just having a thought like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be on time to like just 1 minute late, and I'm killing myself. Like that's a version of me stabbing my own
Yeah.
own self
Well, the
just
problem is
thinking that thought.
but then that way that's not a hindrance to you really in
No,
life. It's you got to think that that's respectful to other people,
yeah, yes,
and
see,
that's if you want to be part of society or not.
yeah, it just I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah,
that.
and I mean,
And
I
some
don't like to be
people
late.
can, I'm not that
Some
person,
people are, and I
you know.
really don't. I mean, I've known a lot of people that aren't on time, and I hung out with the people on time. And after a while, it's like, you know what? I really don't like you that much because you're not on time.
I have to be.
Because you don't really give a crap about nobody else.
I have
It's
to be
not so much
punctual.
you, but to me, if you're not on time, you're wasting my time.
Yes, see,
And if
I
you're
have to
wasting
be
my time, then
punctual.
you don't. If you're wasting my time, then you don't really give a crap about me.
So one of my friends, right? I think I told you about him. His name is Chris. He's from the Navy, right? So for military training, everybody has military training is always punctual because
On time.
because they train that way, right? Then he told me about this country called Switzerland. Did you know
They're never
about
on time.
Switzerland? Everybody's on time, Shane.
Well,
Everybody's punctual.
they make clocks. They make the best clocks
They
on the
make the
planet.
best
So
clocks. So
they
every
also make
clock in the country is
and
in
they also
sync.
make something else that's really good that I know you love. Chocolate.
Oh yes,
They make good chocolate. They make better
yes.
chocolate probably than the Germans, and you're all in love with German
Oh, I
chocolate.
love German chocolate.
So you might want to try some Swiss chocolate.
Oh, I probably will. I'm gonna have to
You probably
import
need
that.
to
I
try
don't
some.
care.
You need to probably get you some real Swiss cheese while you're at it.
Ooh, like those are the two things that I love: cheese and chocolate.
Okay, well you ought to get you some Swiss. You probably want to
so,
go to Switzerland next.
so well, back to the clock issue. The whole country, all the clocks is in sync, right? Like it's not one where there's 1 second or whatever faster than the other. And he tells me like, hey, if the train's going to be late or they experiencing some trouble, right? They'll make an announcement beforehand, like, hey, in about 5 minutes, the train is going to experience some turbulence or whatever it is. Going to be like, hey, there's going to be an accident up top. No, not turbulence. I'm thinking about airplane because I was flew to Hong Kong. There's going to be some accident up front, so we're going to stop here. Once the train stops, right? Everybody gets stopped. Not one person like, I'll wait this out. Everybody's punctual in that country, and I love it.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of countries are very punctual.
Yeah, very punctual because like what you said about the respect and like, hey, you gotta be on
Yeah.
time to
Well, I think
just
if
let
you live
people.
in a society where there's a lot of people, you
Yeah.
want if you want it to work right.
Oh, I was gonna.
I mean, but don't tell me that. I mean, I know there's a lot of places where there's a lot of people and nothing works right because nobody respects anybody else.
Well,
So
everybody's efficient in Hong Kong too. Like if I feel like well from where we lived, and we stayed at the Airbnb, it's like every time I step out, right, it's 100,000 people out here already, except for Christmas morning when there's only like I don't know 80,000 people. So
oh
I was
really?
like, oh, I got some elbow room today, dude. That's a
Wow.
lot of people every time we get on the train.
Oh, I'll
Every
believe
time
that.
we get on the train. Oh
I'll believe that.
yeah.
It's like how I'm gonna go to one of the most crowded places on earth
Let me tell you
and
something
expect
else.
to have room.
So in Hong Kong they use a thing called the octopus card, right? It's just like a card that you use for the train, like public transportation. But you can also you put money on this card. You could also use it to like, go to 7-Eleven, restaurants, like a whole bunch of places except payment is octopus card without using credit card. And then by the second or third day, right, Ethan caught on to that, like, hey, so every place except this octopus card, because kids have to have one too if they want to ride a train. You
Yeah.
cannot share the card. And so we explained to him like, oh, you take public transportation, you could buy a drink at 7-Eleven, you go to McDonald's, you could pay with one form of payment. And that is what Ethan said. Wow, really? That's so convenient. Why is my country so stupid? He said this. I'm like, wow, how do you really feel?
Yeah, I don't think I'd want one company controlling my money.
It's not a company. It's just your own card.
Okay. It sounds like
Instead
yeah,
of so basically it's the convenience of instead of taking your wallet all the time or like a credit card, right?
yeah,
You
yeah.
always have this handy on you. So you just
Yeah,
pay for
I
whatever
have
you
something
need.
like that. I have
Yeah.
a card like that. It's called my Discover card.
Yeah, but not all the places except Discover.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, see. But and then also they charge a convenience fee. This is just a cash in a card thing. Because
Okay.
but then you're basing this on like a city full of thousands of people, which is
Yeah.
convenience over what they have here or what we
Yeah.
don't have here.
Well, it sounds like a debit card.
It's not because there's no bank.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so
the
it's
money's
very hard to.
there's gotta be money exchanged somewhere, Lamb. It's and otherwise you're getting all that crap for free.
What are you talking about?
If you're paying for stuff with one card, there's gotta be money exchanged somewhere.
Oh, we just load the card. Like it's kind of like a phone card in a way, but you can only use it
Yeah.
for phone.
So in a way, it's like a debit card.
Right, but you have to a bank controls your debit card.
Yeah, but
But
there's
then
cards
also
here in
the
this.
debit card is like, is it a Master or Visa debit card too?
Yeah, in a way, but
Yeah.
your bank can load your card up, and they can issue a card to where it can only spend how much money you have loaded on it. It won't spend any more.
Yeah. Oh, on this one you can control in a negative, but it's just a really convenience way. But you know what? Back to our movie.
Yep, sounds like a debit card.
It's not.
I know you keep saying that.
It's not a debit card because I thought about that too. It's not a debit card.
But somebody's got to be changed
Yeah.
somewhere for somebody because nobody's going to do that just for free.
All right. So what did you think of the power animal being a penguin?
Oh, that's what it was to begin with. Then it turned into that lady.
Oh, they turned into that lady, right? What do you think the connection was there? I thought that was really funny. The power animal to her because he
I don't
thinks
know.
about her a lot, right? Like somewhere has a secret crush on Marla Singer.
Well, yeah. Well, he has to have a crush on somebody. Everybody does. If you're a guy, you usually have a crush on somebody.
Yeah. So Marla Singer, do you remember our movie that we made, Pleasant Dreams? I actually used the name Marla Singer for one of my characters because
Oh, I
of
didn't
this
notice
movie.
that.
Yeah. Marla Singer. I didn't even change it to what did I change to? Dr. Resnick from Trent Reznor. Because let me put all the influences that I love into my own movie.
Who was Marla Singer in Pleasant Dreams?
It was
Was it the wife?
No, the character Allison Allison Friday. The blonde. She plays the assistant for Dr. Reznor.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah,
I say
didn't
Reznor.
remember.
Resnick. Trent
Resnick.
Reznor, yeah.
Resnick.
Now I got my own people mixed up.
Yeah, well, it's been a while.
Stupid 9-inch nails. I love 9-inch nails.
I still love that. I still say why you
Yeah,
say stupid.
I don't know. I think the stupid was referencing myself, not
Okay.
9-inch nails.
Yeah, I was going to say, why do you got a problem with 9-inch nails all of a sudden, dude?
I do like the cancer theme that this movie brings upon, like brings out, like what was it? Ed Norton says that, like, hey, when people are dying, right, they really listen to you instead of just waiting for the chance to speak. Because I feel like a lot of people in society, they listen, right, but they basically listen to, like, so wait for my turn to speak. Like when I argue with Heather,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my turn to
you
speak.
mean when they're having a conversation and they're thinking about what they're going to add into your conversation to make it better,
Yes.
or how they're going to top your conversation.
Yep. I do like that they bring the cancer
That's just
philosophy
conversation.
into this, though. And I do like the first time I saw Marla stealing clothes from a laundromat to sell them at a thrift store, and I'm thinking, like, dude, that's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, you're really going to get a lot for a bunch of people's dirty clothes.
But hey, man, it's more than what you had started with.
Yeah, got enough to buy an icy.
Yeah, hey, I didn't have
go.
an icy before. Or an ice cream, I don't care. I love it. Like, what, you're selling those? Yes, I'm selling some clothes. You left half your stuff. I thought that was really funny. And then I really liked the when they brought out Marla Singer's philosophy for life is that she may die at any moment, but the tragedy is that she didn't.
Yeah.
I do like that train of thought. It's really dark, at the same time it's very true.
Well, yeah,
Depends on
it is
who
very
looks at
true.
it,
Most
yeah.
people don't want to look at it that way. I
It's
mean,
not-
it's true for everybody that way, but
Yeah,
nobody
well,
wants to look at it that way.
Yeah, nobody want to look at it that way.
Who
just,
would want to look at it that way? You'd have to be really morbid. You might end up with
Yeah.
split personalities if you start looking at it that way. I mean,
Oh, that's how this movie was too. Like,
but the
just-
thing is, I think he liked Marla because Marla tried to do it because in a way he thought Marla was more like him.
oh, Marla is more like him.
Well, kind of.
Except
Turned out at the end-
she's not hiding it though. Like Edward Norton is hiding it through Tyler Durden.
Yeah, but he's also crazy. He was straight up crazy.
Oh, he's straight up crazy. Like Marla Singer would be the same person in this whole movie of all these people.
She's like that. She's that person you meet that does everything you wish you know.
She's the normal one.
She basically, in a way, I could say why he loves her.
Oh,
She's Tyler Durden to him.
yes.
She's Tyler Durden because Tyler Durden is the character he creates. who will do everything that he is
Too
too
shy of.
too goody to do. He thinks, oh, I should be show up late. Well, Tyler Dorgan shows up late,
Yep.
and Marla Singer will show up late.
We are whenever she wants.
He's
Yes.
the one. He's the guy that goes, yeah, I should skip on the bill. He won't, but she will.
Yes.
She's the one having. He thinks she's having a better life than he is.
Oh yeah.
So that's why he's like, I'm obsessed with you because
Even
he's
though she
obsessed with
lives poor.
because he's also obsessed with Tyler Durden too.
Yes. Oh, I love that. When
Yeah, but the problem is though, the thing is you say like she lives poor, but she's happy. She's got everything
yes,
she
see,
wants.
that's the whole
See,
thing.
that's the thing
You
with him.
happy.
See, it's Edward Norton. He's working as hard as he can to get all this money. But there's some people that can work as hard as they can and they're gonna get some.
Mm-hmm.
Or work less and they're gonna get a whole bunch of stuff. Or there's some people work, and they never get anything. So sometimes you gotta stop and go, well, this is life is as good as life gets.
Oh.
Because if this is as good as life gets, then
Yeah.
maybe I ought to start making some changes.
Yes.
Either start work because you can't work. Sometimes you just can't work harder. If you're not gonna get anything, then why are you doing all this?
Yeah. I agree. That's really good.
And I think his character made that point. He's like he's working for this company, he's doing all this crap. He's not getting nothing.
No.
So, but he's not. And the biggest thing is though he's not happy.
Yeah.
So he's got to go. I think the biggest thing is if you're doing all this and you're banging your head against the wall and you're not happy, then you're going to have to make a change.
So basically,
maybe you shouldn't go start a fight club and blow up buildings, but you should make a change.
So basically, you point to that point where it says like it's only after we lost everything that we're free to do anything.
Yeah, you're
I
free to do
love
anything.
that.
Well,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
basically when you realize this is as far as you're going to get. This is as far as you're going to go.
You know that
Or
line.
at least in that, because like basically he should just quit his job is what he needed to do.
Yes, but he did though. But at the same time, he still get paid as an
Yeah,
outside
okay. Well,
consultant,
he didn't
which
really,
is
yeah, he
great.
didn't really quit his job.
I really love it.
And that was a good scene. That one he did.
That was a good scene where he get beat up, and then he laid out another clue. Like it remind him of his first fight with Tyler.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah,
when you
well,
first watch it, you're like, "What? It doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, when
until
all those guys are
after.
watching him beat himself up.
Yeah, I know. And then the perfect timing, like, please
Yeah,
don't hit me.
because there's a movie where Jim Carrey beats himself up.
Oh,
Remember?
liar, liar.
Yeah, liar,
Yes.
liar.
What is that? I'm
What are you
kicking my own
doing?
ass.
Yeah,
Do
what
you
are you
mind?
doing?
He's about 5'10". Brown hair, kind of skittish. No, like there's a lot of times when I'm watching another movie like The Prestige or like District 9, right? I'm thinking like, oh, maybe this could top my Fight Club. But every time I watch Fight Club, like, no, I don't know what I was thinking. I should never
Really?
second guess myself. Yeah, when we watch
Okay.
this again, I'm like, no, this is gonna be my favorite movie of all time. Nothing will ever take this spot, no matter how a new movie. Because I already made my mind up to where like this is my favorite movie of all time.
Really? Okay.
There's a
That's
lot
good.
of lines I love. Like, hey, on the long and left timeline, everybody's survival rate drops to 0, and I love that. Like, it's just realization of like, hey, you need to look deeper in life on a whole lot of things, not
Yeah.
just like simplicity of stuff.
So this is your favorite all-time movie.
Favorite all-time movie.
What's your second favorite all-time movie?
It's The Prestige.
Oh,
It's
that's
The
on my top.
Prestige.
That is on my top 5.
I think every time
Prestige is a movie I could always watch.
The next movie we're doing is The Book of Eli, right? Then I realized like, hey, all these movies that I love, it has a really big revealing at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
No,
mainly the director of this movie, all his movies are like that.
Oh, the suspense, like David Fincher. This is the movie I love David Fincher
But this
even
is-
more.
But this is not one of my favorite movies. I like this movie, but it's not my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say my favorite, I guess the most favorite movie that's revealing. I don't know, because after sometimes you don't. Out of David Fincher, I think it's David Fincher, right? The Game.
The Game is David Fincher, yes.
The Game is one of those ones. It's like every time you think you're finally got to that point, they pull something else out. Then
Yep.
you're sitting on the edge of the seat, and then they pull something else out. And then you get kind of upset, and then it's like, oh, that is still not what you thought it was.
You told me about that movie too, and I love that movie too.
Well, that's a
The
great
Game.
movie.
I think so
This-
far.
the only problem I have with those movies is some of them you probably 1-time, 2-time viewing, and then I'm like,
Wait, so those movies, or are you talking about Fincher?
talk about a lot of these type of movies.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you can get more out of them each time you watch it, but then some movies, it's like, the problem is the greatest part already.
Yeah.
So you lost that. But the movie, first time you saw it, it's like, wow.
Yes, the first time I saw it was like,
The
wow.
Sixth Sense. The
Oh,
Sixth Sense, not a
yep.
Fincher movie, but it's one of those. Whoa, should have saw that. Should have saw that
Should
whole
have
whole
saw it,
time.
but like, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
I put that up there. Yeah, The Game, Sixth Sense, Seven, which is
Oh,
another David
so
Fincher.
Seven is probably my second movie I saw David Fincher. The first David Fincher movie I saw was Alien 3, which is not very good because
Really,
the studio destroyed it.
The first David Fincher movie I ever saw was Seven.
Well, yeah, mine.
And
I
the
guess
only
yeah.
reason, and that's the reason I watched The Game, because after I watched the Seven and thought, man, this is this is crazy, man.
Dude,
I want to see something else crazy. And I watched The Game. I was like,
everything
man,
David Fincher has done, I love.
except for
Every
Aliens.
single one of them. Well, Alien 3 was different because he was hired on as a director, right? But the studio made all the decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this Aliens 3. Let's put it that way. I watched it. It was okay. I almost don't remember it though,
See,
and I kind of don't want to.
I wish there was a
Was it?
David Fincher cut of Alien 3.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Aliens 3. I guess because it's the most boring of all the Aliens movies. But again, I haven't seen Aliens Resurrection, so I don't know.
Ooh. Yeah, wait until we watch that so we can compare the two because I don't want to say anything right now.
The problem is I can't remember Aliens 3. I'd almost have to watch Aliens 3 again. I remember Aliens 1 and 2 the best. 3, I was
Alien
like,
2 is probably the one I will remember the
because
best.
Alien 3 is just kind of so far out there.
Yeah. Aliens is probably my favorite one. Aliens. Because it's
Yeah,
by
Aliens.
Jim Cameron.
Yeah, it's okay. Aliens is not very high on my franchise list, though.
Oh, no, not my mind either.
Yeah. I guess because it's no Star Trek or Star Wars. So.
That's
It's not even Lord of the Rings, dude.
Whoa.
No, it's okay. They try to make it into a bigger franchise. I think it's just had too many hands yanking it this way, yanking it this way.
Yeah.
It'd be more like
what? Well, it's one of those.
I'd say
movies.
I'd be more like the last 3 Star Wars movies, because had too many hands in it. This director's doing his thing, and then the next director comes along, he's going to do it this way,
It's hard
and then
for me
the
to
director
say.
from the beginning comes back. Basically, that's Aliens right there.
Isn't there Star Wars movie just came out, Rebel Moon? Is that a real thing?
Oh, that's not a Star Wars movie.
Oh, it's not?
Right?
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know.
No, I think it's. I wondered about it too. I think it's, but it's by Snyder, not
Jack
Jack
Snyder, yeah. Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
not Star Wars. Okay.
No, but it's based on if he was to do a Star Wars, it's based on Star Wars. He watched Star Wars. He's like, Star Wars is awesome. I'm gonna make this movie.
Oh, it's just called Rebel Moon, but it's not Star Wars. Okay.
No, it's not Star Wars. That's probably a great movie. I haven't seen it yet. But
Yeah,
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder,
Let's see, how many movies of Zack Snyder's do I hate? 0.
Well, how many Zack Snyder's movie can you name that we didn't watch? Not 300, not like Watchmen.
Yeah, but I think I've seen everything that Zack Snyder
Really?
made,
You
right?
have seen Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Gahul?
Well, I want to now, just so I can prove you wrong next time you ask me this question. What do you think? It's probably a good movie, right?
Yeah, it's probably a good movie.
That's what I was going to say. Everything he
Oh,
makes is good. The
so
only problem with his
the
stuff
first
is it's
movie
really
he did was
long.
Dawn of the Dead, and I love Dawn of the Dead.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and then he did 300. Everybody loves that.
Well, 300 is
and
awesome.
then Watchmen, I love that. Then
Everybody loves Watchmen.
Then I didn't see Legend of the Guardians, but I want to see Sucker Punch, and I love Man of Steel.
I saw some.
I didn't see the second. Oh, he didn't direct that one though. The
What?
300 Rise of an Empire.
I haven't seen that yet.
But he didn't direct it though.
Oh, okay, then it doesn't matter.
Oh, he didn't direct Wonder Woman. He wrote it and produced it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was pretty good. Yeah, Patty Jenkins.
Army of
it was
the
a good movie.
Oh, I didn't see Army of the Dead yet.
Oh, I didn't see Army of the Dead. I didn't see his Army of the Dead.
Oh, Rebel Moon. So would you have a part 2? Huh. Okay.
I'm sure it's gonna have a part 3, part 4, part 5. It's probably gonna do 9 movies, just like
It's like
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. If Zack
yeah,
Snyder
because
did Star Wars.
that's actually the Zack Snyder version of Star Wars.
Okay, then I'll give that a try too. All right. I love everything that's single serving. That's for the OCD part of me that came out. Like,
Oh,
I used to be a huge germaphobe when I was younger, so I love
Most people
everything
still
single
are.
wrap. Yeah, some of those people still are. I just let go.
I don't know if I'm a germaphobe or not. I really don't like people touch my stuff though.
What do you mean, like touching your food or like touching your
Oh, I
collection?
most
Oh,
definitely
anything.
don't touch my food.
That's
And the thing is, I don't have to worry about a lot of people touching my collection because you're lucky if you can get into my room to even
ah
see my collection. I'm very picky. Not
yes.
everybody's just going to show up to touch my stuff. If you're here, you can touch. If you show up, if I let you in the door, you can touch stuff.
Oh
To a
okay.
point. You can't play with all my Legos, but you can play with some of them.
Ah oh, we bought a whole bunch of Legos in Hong Kong,
I'm
but like
sure you did.
not Legos, but there's I guess
Yeah,
whatever.
the
Yeah,
off brand of
the
Legos.
off
I'm
brand.
ashamed of
The
that.
other
Just
brand
shames
of Legos.
that just shames me. I mean, I
No,
know I secretly put them in, mix them into my Legos, but I would never tell
yeah,
nobody
but
about
then
it.
like Lego is not the only brand, right? There's other companies
But
make the same
Legos,
product.
hey, Legos created it. It's Legos. It's all Legos. Okay.
I guess it's like
Yes, just agree with me.
it's kind of like besides Barbie, you cannot buy
Don't
another
shame
doll.
don't shame me.
I'm not.
Yeah, but the problem is this Barbie's not the same. Barbie's a Barbie. The Barbie looks like a Barbie. Barbie's a certain doll. The other dolls are a little bigger. They're a little big boned. You know, there's some, and they're not even the scale most of the time.
I
Barbie's
guess.
not really the scale either, but she's the scale of what GI Joe would want.
Oh, hey, you know what? Let's get back to the movie because I want to say this is probably one of the only few movies I watched the DVD commentary on. Like, do you watch a lot of movies? Like before even Blu-ray was a thing, right? You know,
Yeah,
DVD usually have like, hey, now with director
I've
commentary.
actually watched I can't remember all the movies I watched commentary on. So
I
I
know
got into
this
a
one I
phase where I
did.
watched the commentary. I watched the commentary, all the Star Trek commentaries. Well, I didn't watch them
Oh,
all. I watched one of the Star Trek commentaries, and it brought that ended it right there because I watched the one I think it was on Star Trek Five, the
oh yeah.
commentary, and the commentary was not done by anybody that was really a Star Trek fan, but it was by the guys that wrote Star Trek. You know, the Star Trek was Chris Pine,
Oh,
the ones for J.J. Abrams, the two guys that wrote it
yeah.
because they said they're Star Trek fans, and then they did the commentary on Star Trek Five, and I was listening to them talk. What a bunch of liars! They
Oh,
didn't even know anything about Star Trek. One of them like didn't seem to know anything. I was like, hey, if you're gonna say you're a Star Trek fan, maybe you should talk like you're a Star Trek fan and talk like you know. But it's like they've never seen this
so
movie.
they were doing a commentary on Star Trek Five.
Yeah, I think it was on Five.
Oh,
I know
that's
they did the commentary on
strange.
one of them, and I watched it because I thought, well,
No,
these guys are probably going to have a
a
lot of
lot
good
of
insight.
times when I watch DVD
They didn't.
commentary on the movie, right, it's either the
Yeah, it's
people
usually the
in
director.
the
Yeah,
movie, yeah, the
or
people
directing the
that
movie.
did
And
the
it
movie,
just
like,
happened to be them. That's probably why I listen because usually I watch it with the people directing the movie.
yeah, me too.
You
That's
know?
why I watched it on this one because it was David Fincher, Brad Pitt, and Edward
Yeah,
Norton and
and
Helen
they'll
Bonham
always tell
Carter.
you and they'll always tell you inside on it.
Yeah,
Well, these two guys they don't know anything about the movie, so
that's
they're talking about the
weird.
movie, and they didn't really
It feels
hardly
like
seem to know anything about the characters
it feels
either. So I
like
was like, that's like this is the dumbest commentary I ever did. I never watched commentary after that. That was the
it's
end of
like
that.
it's like me and you doing a commentary on like Monty Python. Like I'm not the
Yeah,
biggest fan. Like I do like Monty Python,
yeah.
but
Well,
then
that'd be funny because
it's like what?
people would be like, this guy doesn't know anything
Yeah,
about Monty Python, and they'd be right. I'd be
I
like,
was
who's this?
like,
And we couldn't. You see, that's the thing. We couldn't give you any insight
it's
on it
like
in the
yeah,
movie.
exactly. It's like why are you guys here? Well, they gave us a check and now we're
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we'd be like, so Lamb, what do you think was going on through their head when they made this scene? Or I hear that, that's the thing. We wouldn't know anything,
No, we won't know anything. That is so funny.
but they did. They let these two guys do the commentary on a movie that they had nothing to do with.
So it's like basically anyone listening to our show, but then like kind of like the parts that we didn't talk about the movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's basically like listening to us, as if these guys didn't even sound like they were really even fans that I could tell. I mean, they're just like
Oh.
we are fans, but we're not really fans.
Yeah, we're all fans, but not really fans. Not
Well,
like a diehard fan.
one of the writers from that, I guess I should be fair, is truly a fan because he actually made the third Star
Oh,
Trek.
Beyond
Well,
the
yeah, Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah, Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah, which was actually to me was actually a very good one.
I almost said Beyond the Darkness.
Beyond the Darkness. Well, that was
the second one and the third
that
one.
would be the second and the third one stuck together. The guy, but I just thought I was
It's
watching
too
that.
late for me now.
I was watching that guy. I was thinking,
But
this
like,
is horrible.
we buy Star Trek, like this.
And this funny thing is they're doing commentary on a Star Trek that most Star Trek fans don't even like.
Or the fifth one, yeah, about God, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it
Well,
wasn't
not
really
God,
about
religion.
it had God in the movie,
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be religion. But the thing was, it wasn't about religion or God. The whole movie was about friends.
Yes.
That was just the plot.
Yep.
It's just the plot. if you could just get past
Hey,
what you see there and
that's
put
the
that
movie
down.
that made me realize that Tupac watched Star Trek.
Yeah, well, I actually like Star Trek. I mean, I like Star Trek Five.
Oh, I like Star Trek too.
I think it's a great one. I think well,
So
I
far,
mean we know that.
I think it's because I watched it when I'm older, right? I bet you if
Yeah,
I was watching all the Star Treks we review when I was younger, I would have even loved it even more.
I think you would have.
Yeah, I would definitely loved it even more because like there's
But
a
like
lot
I'm
of
saying,
movies when I was watching was younger. I understand the theme a lot, like at age of 11 or maybe even younger, like 10. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is
yeah.
really good. And like if I was watching Star Trek 5 when it was released, when did Star Trek 5 release? Do you remember?
89. I don't really
Oh,
know. I
89.
mean,
So when
but
I
I know
start to,
I saw that at the theater, so that's probably one of the reasons. Me and my brother went
mm,
and saw it at the theater.
yeah.
I don't think it was 89. I don't remember when it
You
was.
know what? I want to
Or
find out
maybe
right
you're
now.
right. Maybe it was 89.
Was it Star Trek 5, right? You saw that in the theater.
Nah, couldn't be. It wasn't 89. There's no way it was 89 because I think I saw it after Batman.
Star Trek 5, The Final Front. Oh, 1989.
Wow. So I
Yeah.
saw that. So me and my brother went and saw that by ourselves at the theater.
Yeah, June 9th, so it's a summer movie. Well, I guess summer-ish, right? Summer technically doesn't start until like end of July.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, June 9th. So I was already in the country for a month, but I didn't
Yeah.
see this movie.
It was 89. Yeah, I guess I was amazed I knew it was 89. But it was, I think Star Trek Next Generation was already out on TV by
Hey,
that time.
I'll always remember my first movie in the theater here was Batman.
I remember Batman too.
Yeah.
That was my most, that was my, this is the thing, I don't remember the first movie that I ever saw at the theater.
Yeah, that's no way, right? Like, because we
Well, because I was so young. Yeah, I was so
You
young,
could
but I
say
do,
the
I
first.
can almost say one of the first ones I remember,
Yeah, did you
though,
remember? Yeah.
was that one with the, I don't even know what it's called, but it was a Disney movie with a fox dressed as Robin Hood.
Oh, Fox and Hound. Isn't it
No,
Fox
it's
and
not
Hound? But
Fox
it's
and the
still called
Hound.
Robin
But
Hood, right?
I did see Fox and the Hound. No, I saw Fox and the Hound too at the theater, I think.
Oh.
But I saw the one with the there's a fox dressed as Robin Hood and he could talk English and stuff.
See, that first remember, obviously I was in Hong Kong. I remember Police Story. Then I remember a James Bond movie where someone was baiting someone at the tub. I can't remember the scene, right? But like,
That's it. That's almost any Bond movie.
yeah, I know. But then I bet you if I watch it as an adult, I will remember like, oh, this is the scene I remember as a kid. Like someone was baiting a woman or somebody.
Which James Bond did you watch? Do you remember
I
who it was?
can't remember.
Was it Sean Connery?
It's
Was
either
it Roger Moore?
It's either Moore or Connor. It's probably Moore.
Probably more.
Probably early 80s.
Probably
Because I saw that and I'm like, I can't remember the name of it.
Well,
but
good
I bet
luck,
you
because like I said, there's a lot of people bathing in James Bond movies. It's the thing.
You know what?
You're gonna have so and so take a bath with so and so.
I'm gonna look at James Bond bathing scene. I'm gonna look up the image because I remember the colors and everything. It's not outdoor. Bathhouse. That's not it.
Was it Octopussy?
See, I can't remember the English names because I didn't watch.
That'd be the
English.
first James Bond. I think that's the first James Bond movie I ever saw.
Fiona appears naked in Bond's tub. Who was that? No, that's too old. That's Thunderball.
Oh, I saw Thunderball, but I didn't see it when it came out.
Yeah, not even when it came out.
I wasn't born yet.
Was it No Time to Die? When did No Time to Die come out?
It wasn't No Time to Die, because that's a new movie.
No.
You weren't a kid yet. The movie wasn't even thought of yet.
No, this is a
No Time
different
to Die.
caption.
No Time to Die is the last James Bond movie they made.
Oh, well.
You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do all the James Bond movies, and then one day
eventually.
You go,
Yep, I'm
this
gonna
is the first
know.
one I saw.
Yep.
Because for all we know, you saw the man with the golden gun or something.
The man with the golden gun.
You even showed us more. For all you know, it wasn't even more.
Nope. So there's some scientific things I want to get through on this. Obviously, the bomb making thing is not real because this is at the time where like there's a big taboo on you can't learn to make a bomb from a movie. So,
but you can from the internet.
You can from the internet. That's different.
Oh, actually, though, back then, around that movie come out, you could actually buy books that told you how to make bombs.
Oh yeah,
they're in libraries.
Yeah, but like the nitroglycerin thing is false for the fat. You know, one of my favorite things, really? The funniest thing, I don't know. One funniest thing is when they were stealing fat. You know, me and Cody saw this movie in the theater.
Fat. That's gross. That was messed up, especially when they get caught in the barbed wire.
And then they slip on it.
Yeah, they bust and it just, that's just so nasty.
That was. See, I laughed so hard.
If you're a germaphobe, you wouldn't even.
Oh, you would not be able to stand this. Like, just think about the smell when that bat rips
And in
open,
fact,
right?
if you were a
Oh
germaphobe, you couldn't even stay in that house he stayed in.
no, you cannot. No,
Yeah,
I would be like, oh,
yeah, rats,
I cannot.
sewage.
Oh, oh, oh. I didn't
Okay,
even think about staying at that house.
then you're
Ugh.
probably more then you're more of a germaphobe than I am because
Oh,
that
I'm
wouldn't really.
very germaphobe.
The only
Um,
problem I had when I was watching that movie, The House, the only thing that bothered me about living in that house, I was like, I could probably do that, except for the cold. The
oh, for the
cold,
call,
I
yeah.
can't do the cold. Do not like cold. I can't even stand the cold right now. We're not even all the way into January yet.
Oh, you know what? Well, we're in Texas today. Right now, it's 27 degrees outside.
I know it's just too
Oh,
cold.
so let me tell you something. Like, so me and Heather checked out the weather, what it was like in Hong Kong, right, for the 2 weeks that we stayed from the 23rd of December all the way to the 4th. So we look like, oh, it's kind of like Texas, like 50s, 60s, right? Like 60 something.
It's
So
kind of
we,
like a desert.
yeah. So we decided to bring like long sleeve shirts. After the first day in Hong Kong, the rest of the trip, all my long sleeve shirt was packed with stupid. I need to wear a t-shirt every day because it was like mid 60s to like mid 70s, and Hong Kong is
Yeah,
really nice.
I would think
Oh,
Hong Kong would be kind of
oh,
tropical.
it's very tropical, and
Yeah,
like
Hong Kong, because isn't Hong Kong where you used to way back when they in the old days you get malaria and all kinds of other diseases because
I
it was
think
more
so.
like a
Yeah,
swamp. I think it
yeah,
was more of a swamp at
it's
one
very
time. I think it was very Houston, Texas.
yeah, it's very well. It's probably more humid than Houston because it's more. It's easier to get to water in Hong Kong than Houston. But like
Well,
we're
that's just
closer to
because
water and than Houston. That's what I'm saying.
well, you're surrounded by
So
water.
what happens is like a high 60 is very nice for Texas, right? It's very nice for Texas. I
Yeah,
see
well, that's
people like it's even so a 68 in Hong Kong is a lot warmer than 68 in Texas.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is so humid.
because it's the humidity, right? One day was so humid. Then we still see people wearing jackets, Shane. Like not just like a light jacket, like an overcoat, like a puffy coat, like sweaters. And
Maybe they
like
were part of the Hong Kong
I'm like,
mafia.
what the heck is going on here? Like
Maybe they're
I'm
hiding
I'm
weapons.
wearing a t-shirt. I'm like, I should not pack jeans. I should wear shorts here. But then we didn't know. And then I'm seeing people with coats, and I'm telling Heather like, why is this person? I want to whip this jacket off of them right now because this person is making me hotter than I am standing here, right? And then I thought of a theory where like I think it's because when we go down underground to the basement to the train, right, the AC kicks on. It's kind of cold, but then like it's not cold enough. It's not long enough for you to be cold enough to wear a jacket. Because once you get back on the surface, right, it's like, oh, it's hot out here.
Maybe those people had some kind. Maybe those people are suffering from the flu. And had the shit.
Maybe. But like I can't stand it. The other thing I make fun of was like when me and Heather was walking everywhere, right? And I was telling her like, man, I'm eating so much, but I'm walking so much, right? I better not gain weight by the time I get home because I'm gonna be mad at myself. And then, well, which we didn't. But then every time we saw like a chunky person, this is what I said like, oh, he must be rich, because he must have his own car, because it can get to easily 3 to 4 thousand steps of us just walking to where we need to be at the train. That's even before we get to a destination. Train or bus easily 3 4 thousand steps. That's just the start of our day without going anywhere at first.
Okay, sounds awesome.
It is awesome. So back to the movie. So what do you think about the kiss chemical thing on the hand?
No,
The,
where he accidentally burned himself,
oh, I
but
say
it turned into a big.
accidentally. Yes, the
But
Tyler's
it's
kiss
it turns like I mean he makes it out like he got
chemical thing,
burnt,
right?
but it was an. I'm sure it was an accident.
Oh.
But I don't know. Later on, it must not have been because everybody has one.
Yeah, everybody has one. You're the one who gave me this. In the
Yeah.
book, right? He gave that to Marla too, but not in the movie. Marla
Oh,
doesn't have
okay.
that thing.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
she
that'd
was
be
the
kind
one
of
like, oh,
weird.
what the heck is that on your hand? I'm like, nothing. I don't want to talk about it. This
Yeah.
conversation is over. I love that. That's another huge clue right there too. Sometimes Tyler spoke for me.
Oh yeah.
He fell down
Especially
some
yeah.
stairs. I fell down some stairs. I did like the part of Jared Leto's in this movie.
Oh yeah, and he beat the crap out of
He
Jared
beat
Leto.
the crap out of Jared Leto where he looked like another person because his face
I
looks
think
so
there's probably a lot
swollen.
of people. I probably a lot of people watch this. A lot of people probably watch this movie and go, "Man, I wish I could beat the crap out of Jared Leto."
Sorry. I have nothing against Jared Leto, so I don't know. I did see him in
I don't have anything
yeah, I
against
don't have a
Jared
good
Leto.
so I don't understand that reference of why people want to beat up Jared Leto.
Oh, I think he's hard to work with.
Oh, I have heard that he's
That's what they say. Who knows? I mean,
character actor.
he may be a complete joy on the set, but some people do take it a little far. I'm like,
No.
it is called acting. It's called acting. You don't really do
So
it. You act.
so when he played in Suicide Squad, he was saying the Joker, right? He was really into his character. Then
Yeah,
he
he's
sent
way in his character.
dead animals to his cast
Yeah,
members, right?
I was thinking, Jared, you're so into that character. He wasn't really that great. That was
Yeah.
kind of the worst Joker I've ever seen.
But I did see him in Dallas Buyers Club. That is a great
Yeah,
movie.
and people say that's pretty good.
That is a great movie.
You know what? The best role that he's been in that I've seen that I think he's awesome.
What?
Blade Runner.
Oh,
2049. Man, he did a good character there.
Yes. Oh, I love Blade Runner.
Yeah, he did a good character there. He created a good character right there.
Yeah, he's a good character.
So, I mean, and he is actually a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I mean, he's from 30 Seconds to Mars, right?
Yeah, that's where I go like, huh.
I mean, I don't know a lot of their songs.
They're not awful. I mean, they're pretty good for an actor to have a group, but they're not amazing. They're not whoa.
Yeah. So I mean, I probably know the songs, but I didn't know 30 Seconds to Mars.
They're no Metallica or Rammstein or any of that.
That's a different level. Rammstein and Metallica. Okay. I want to say that's the kiddie group. Like, okay, it's after 10 p.m. We could play our music or something. I don't know.
30 Seconds to Mars. They do. I mean, I would actually say they're better than some of the other groups that they're in their genre of music.
But then when Jared Leto was in this movie, he was just starting out acting, though. This is not like
this is the first thing. Well, Meatloaf was in this movie too.
Wasn't he in Welcome for a Dream? That was Jared Leto, right?
I think it was Jared Leto in Record.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I never saw the whole movie, so I don't.
Oh, that's
that was him. That was him.
And Marlon Wayans. Yeah, that is a great movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole movie. All I saw was the ending. I caught the end of it, and I was like, man, that's horrible.
Wasn't that directed by Darren Aronofsky or whatever?
I think it was.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, here's the movie. What was it? What is? Oh, Welcome for a Dream. Also 2000. So it's after.
But anyways, like I said, Meatloaf's in this movie too.
Oh, Meatloaf's in this movie too. Yes.
You keep talking about what's his name?
I know Jared Leto. Meatloaf's in this movie.
Yeah,
shoot, I knew Meatloaf was in this movie back in '99 before I knew who Jared Leto was.
Well, because nobody knew who Jared Leto was.
Yeah, because I knew who Meatloaf was.
Because he didn't do acting yet.
Yeah, Meatloaf was the one that, well, because they made Meatloaf wear he was fat and then Meatloaf lost weight, right? Then they made him wear the fat suit with the bird seat, that's the breast.
Yeah, big old giant man boobs.
It's like, I think it's like 50 pounds of bird seeds they had to wear. It was very difficult for him. Wow. Because they talked about in Fight Club, right? No shirt, no shoes. But they had to make that rule differently for Bob because there was no way they were able to take off that shirt and show that.
Let me put it this way. You wouldn't want to see it.
No, I wouldn't want to see
it. I'm surprised they did CG. They probably did. They probably were going to CGI it.
They were going to CGI it, but they couldn't do it.
This would be so rated high that nobody could watch it.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to watch it.
He's the only one that could keep his shirt on.
Yeah, well, that would be the real life. I'd be like, hey, dude, nah, just keep your shirt on.
Yep.
We changed the rules for you.
That was the one thing that they didn't follow the rules on just for Bob.
Yeah, well, I'm second in that. That's a good rule.
Yep, that's second for me too. So some of the lines in this movie, right? Like Helen Bonham Carter is from England. It's from English. She's a British actress, right?
She's British.
So she didn't know what grade school was when she said that line, because they go to primary school. They don't go to grade school. She didn't know that grade school was something elementary. So that grade was after you graduate from elementary. You go to like 8, 9, 10, and 11. Those kind of things. That was very funny. Let's see. You know what? One of the things I do is I love the soundtrack of this film.
The soundtrack is very good.
Soundtrack is very good by the
What's this as the Toadies?
The what?
The Toadies, the song?
Yes.
Where's My Mind?
Where's My Mind?
That is one of my favorite. That is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, it is? Mine too.
It's not my favorite song, but it's on my list.
You said Toadies. Isn't it the Pixies?
Oh, was it the
Yeah,
Pixies?
the
Why did I
Pixies.
say it was the Toadies?
Yeah, it's Pixies.
Okay, it's the Pixies. I thought it was the Toadies.
No, it's the Pixies because I remember like cause this song wasn't on the soundtrack. Cause sometimes soundtrack
Yeah,
the
it wasn't because I got the soundtrack from
the
you
term
once.
soundtrack is very broad sometimes in things. It's either the score or the music they use for the movie. And sometimes it's both, and sometimes
Yeah,
it's a
you're right.
mixture. Like, I
Because
hate it when
you
they say soundtrack.
they do that because you usually got to look at it to see what you're
You
going to get.
do. I feel like
Because
the
a lot of
soundtrack
movies,
should be the
because there's a lot of
score.
movies you always because that's the thing I have a lot of deal. I usually always get the soundtrack or something. I get the soundtrack, the score, or whatever, and there's always a lot of songs on that movie that you don't get on there.
Yeah, you don't get. That's why I got upset too.
And then I'm like, oh crap! Well, I got to go buy this song
Yep.
separately.
See, so, this movie, the Pixie song, wasn't on the soundtrack. So, and the last movie that happened to me on was another David Fincher movie. It was Seven. I bought the soundtrack to it, right? Even though I do like the Seven soundtrack, but I
Yeah,
wanted that song by David Bowie at the end,
which song is that?
the Hot Filthy Lesson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wanted that song, and I'm like, why the hell is that? So I ended up buying David Bowie's CD just for that one song.
Well, that's okay because I did that on the Prestige,
Oh,
the song at the end of the Prestige.
yeah. It's not on the soundtrack, right?
No, and so I had to buy it separate.
So,
I had to hunt it down and then get it.
from Fight Club, I noticed a lot of songs like they play at the end credits. A lot of time it's not in the soundtrack,
Yeah, exactly. It's
and it
usually
makes me
not.
want to ask, like, you probably don't know, why is that?
I don't know. They probably couldn't secure the rights to the soundtrack. They secured the rights for the movie, but they didn't get it for the soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes
It's
more
like
sense.
that movie Kick Ass.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack's awesome.
Yeah.
But you can't get all those songs on the soundtrack because
Oh.
they can't license it to the United States. So that's it. The only way you can get it anywhere close to some of the songs of Kick Ass, especially the ones I like, you have to watch Sunshine. Or you get the soundtrack for Sunshine and you get kind of that song.
Whoa, interesting. Oh, we gotta do a month of those kind of movies. Because we gotta do
Yeah.
Kick-Ass, we gotta do Sunshine. I love both of those movies.
Okay, well then we'll have to do
So
that.
far,
Like that's the thing.
2024 is looking great for us.
I wanted the soundtrack to Kick Ass, and I couldn't get it. You can get it. You could get it. You could see it. I didn't even bother to buy it because after I tried to listen to the music, it's like none of the songs are the ones I want. None of them are even on this movie, really, hardly.
Huh.
And then the thing is, oh well, if you live in the United Kingdom, you could get that whole soundtrack exactly like it is on the movie.
See,
But the problem is it's not licensed to America, so you can't. So yeah, I had to get Sunshine in order to even get it one song, and it's supposed to song, but they kind of re-edited it a little bit.
oh, so it's almost, okay, that's what you mean by
It sounds like it, but it's not. It's still
So-
to me, and supposedly it's the same song, but to me, when I'm sitting there listening to it, I'm like, I'm
So
just not
back
getting it.
then, like, we didn't have Spotify. We had to do what you just said. Like, now I gotta buy the song from another album just to listen to
Yeah.
this song because we didn't have streaming service. Now
Yeah.
with Spotify, like, I was watching
I don't have
She-Hulk,
Spotify.
right? I have Spotify, but people use Apple
Yeah, I know,
Music
yeah.
or YouTube Music or whatever.
I
right?
use Apple Music. Yeah,
So
pretty
the
much.
the
It's easier.
series She-Hulk is really good, for me, right? But what makes it good for me is the soundtrack along with it. So like, I'm not gonna buy the She-Hulk soundtrack. So what I did is like, when I'm listening to the show, I wrote down the songs, then I found it on Spotify. I make my own playlist.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that is the best way to do it because like I watched Ted Lasso too. Some of the music is really good, like 90s stuff. I'm like, I had to do it myself because if I follow the like, they release a Ted Lasso soundtrack to Apple Music, right? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Apple doesn't have license to some of their distribution. I mean, like, distributors out there, like production
Yeah.
company, and then they have to either not have the song or, like you said, they have a different version of that song where they have the rights to, but not the original. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
that is so
Yeah,
frustrating.
that's really it really ticks me off though is when they have that song, but it's not sang by the same people that sing
Yeah.
the song in the movie.
It's like a cover. They have the cover is
yeah.
from
why,
like
why
a
did I get
Sony
the cover?
yeah.
Because I'm like, I didn't even hear the cover.
Oh, yep, that's what I don't like either. It's
Yeah,
just music.
It's just weird. I'm thinking you should be able to secure the rights for the music, but the problem is, another record label owns it anyways. They're like, well, you can show it on the movie, but we don't want it on your record label
Yep,
for your deal. That's the problem.
yep. I have a feeling a lot of things is distributed by Sony, and they don't want to give rights to like maybe not Spotify, like, but Apple Music.
Yeah, well,
Because they have
I
their own
see it.
different places.
Well, Sony, I can see Sony. Sony probably don't want to give it with a lot of other companies.
Yeah.
Since Sony was records before, anyways.
Yep. Hey, before we go, I know there's a lot of stuff we don't talk about Fight Club. We'll probably cover on another movie anyway. I was in a hotel. I mean, not a hotel. I was in a bathroom at the airport in Japan, right? They had the sink set up in a certain way that helped me resolve the issue of the three seashells in Demolition Man. I went to this toilet like because we flew from Hong Kong to Japan, Japan back to Dallas. Okay, so with a few hours in Japan to hang out at the airport. The airport in Japan, everyone has a bidet. All of them had a bidet, but this sink has everything. One big sink to one person, right? One automatic thing is the water. Then the next thing is soap.
Yeah.
Then within the same sink, right? You don't have to go anywhere. It's the dryer. And that's exactly how the three seashells laid out. Water, soap, and dryer.
The three seashells go to the toilet though.
No, it's just different. The seashell is not part of the toilet.
I'm pretty sure on the movie it was for the toilet because they didn't have any toilet paper.
You have the shells with the three seashells. But then that's exactly once you're doing your business, right? You go to the water, you go to soap or water, depends on how you want to do your thing. Then you dry it. That's the three seashell. It blows that stuff up your butt. Thank you.
It didn't blow anything up my butt. You're trying to blow something up my butt.
I sure am.
The three seashells was near the toilet. It was on the toilet.
Well, it's time to wrap it up. So until next time, right? We do not talk about this podcast. We'll see you in the next one.
Well, we did.
Thank you for tuning in for this episode of Tensai Reviews. If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Spotify and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next one.